In my experience playing Final Fantasy X, one of the main elements that has always captivated me to the game was its storytelling, having a rich set of characters whom we learn a lot about as the game progresses, along with the overall plot and how it lays out the importance of the entire party, giving them their own moments throughout. However, there is a story element that I want to put more of a spotlight on, and that is on the locations. While some locations seemingly hold more importance than others in terms of certain aspects of the plotline, each location in Spira holds significance that contributes to the overall layout of Spira and its history, with landmarks on the locations that give us clues about what the place was like during Spira's past and how it led to the current incarnation of said location. In the first episode, we covered Besaid Island, a rather secluded island on the south of Spira. Today, we will be going to the far north to explore another natural location, but one that is surrounded by major civilizations and holds significant contributions to the land of Spira. So sit back and enjoy as we analyze and discuss the sacred land of Mount Gagazet. Mount Gagazet is a snowy mountainous region that lies between the cities of Zanarkand and Bevel. It is likely that it was once a frequently traveled location in Spira's Machina era, a time where both cities were thriving through the use of Machina. It is likely that when the Machina War broke out, Mount Gagazet was part of the battlefield fought between the forces of Bevel and Zanarkand. While specific details of the war are not detailed, due to the location of the cities relative to the mountain, we can make this assumption. When Sin was born and the creation of the Yevon religion was made in the aftermath of the war, Mount Gagazet became a restricted pass where only summoners and their guardians can pass through the mountain as part of their journey to the sacred city of Zanarkand. It is likely that this restriction was enforced by the Ronso, and it could be part of their view that a summoner who has reached Mount Gagazet to obtain the final Aeon in Zanarkand shows strengths as they are not deterred by the potentially treacherous pass of the mountain, thus allowing them access to the mountain. Despite reaching the peak of the Mount Gagazet, they would still have to gain access to Zanarkand by going through a series of challenges, as well as defeating the Sanctuary Keeper Guardian at the end of the mountain. On top of the mountain, in an area known as the Prominence, we see the Faith Scar, which are the inhabitants of the original Zanarkand from the war as Yu Yevon's way of preserving the city, by creating a dream version of it emanating from the peak of Mount Gagazet. Along the path through the mountain, there are numerous monument sites that mark areas where people have died attempting to reach the peak. While it is unknown how many lives the mountain has taken, it is likely that they comprise of a combination of summoners and their guardians, as travelers were not permitted to go through the mountain. In addition, due to many summoners dying without anyone to send them, they become fiends which ravage the paths of the mountain. By the events of Final Fantasy X, Yuna and her guardians reach the mountain, but are stopped by the Ronso due to them being branded as traitors by Yevon. They eventually allow Yuna to pass after seeing her resolve to defeat Sin, despite the obstacles thrown at her path and after Kimahri defeats his rivals in battle. At the peak, they come across Seymour and defeat him, and they come across the Faith Scar, where Tidus is sent to dream Zanarkand upon touching the Faith, since he is a creation of the Faith himself. By the events of Final Fantasy X-2, as the mountain is no longer used as a gateway to Zanarkand as a result of the Eternal Calm, travelers now frequent the road as the remains of an ancient temple were uncovered due to the mist being lifted from the Faith departing to the far plane, and sphere hunters have now frequented the mountain searching for treasure, which angers the Ronso's new leader, Kimahri. In addition, a spring was also uncovered on the mountain, making it an attraction for both Ronso and humans. Due to the importance of its location, Mount Gagazet has seen its purpose in Spira change throughout the years, serving as a route between two thriving Machina cities to a sacred land serving as a gateway to the ancient city of Zanarkand, to being a popular tourist attraction by the time of the Eternal Calm. With much of the population living around that area, Mount Gagazet has witnessed many events that have occurred in Spira, in contrast to the isolated Besaid Island which we covered in the first episode of the series of Final Fantasy X lore videos. And that ends the lore video for the geography of Mount Gagazet. What did you think of it? Are you a fan of snowy mountains? Personally, I have hiked snowy mountain trails here and it's not always fun, but every time I do, I will always play the Servant of the Mountain track as I feel immersed in the world of Spira when I do. I hope you enjoyed today's lore video and leave a like and comment. If you enjoyed this video, also consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoyed and leave suggestions on what other locations you want me to cover, as well as other details I may have missed while covering this location. Other than that, this is Enzo signing out, and that, as they say, is that.